I'm speechless. I feel like I had whiplash. It was disgusting and I loved every second of it. No. What? Why am I so confused? What does this mean? I'm so scared. I've got to go keep reading. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. The day is here. I have it in my hands. I have not cracked it open yet. I'm gonna crack it open with you guys. We're about to do like a first chapter prologue reaction. Oh my word. Okay. Welcome to the House of Sky and How many times am I going to do that in this video? Probably a lot. Welcome to the House of Flame and Shadow reading vlog. I could not pass up the opportunity to vlog this because this is the book that we've all been waiting for. And I'm not going to spoil why, but if you know, you know. This book is huge. It is massive to Sarah J. Maas books. So I cannot wait to take you guys with me. This is probably going to be a spoilery and a non-spoilery vlog. I promise I will put big spoiler here up at the bottom as a subtitle so you don't spoil yourself. But I know I'm gonna have a lot of thoughts and feelings. I literally watched a 3-hour recap yesterday of Crescent City 2. I literally just finished reading Silver Flames, so I am fully prepared for what's to come. But am I though? Like, who knows what's gonna go down in this book? None of us know what's gonna happen, how we got here. It's just insane. It's crazy. I got up early this morning to be there right at 9 a.m. My husband took me over there. We got some breakfast afterwards, but I met up with Kendall there, of course, and there was quite a few people lined up at the door already, which is really funny. I don't think I've ever been at Barnes & Noble the moment they open, so that was quite the experience. But everybody, of course, flocked to the table, grabbed their book, and ran, which is basically what I did too. So I am so excited to jump into this. Like, I cannot tell you guys. I cannot tell you guys. I have been so excited that I even bought this shirt. It just says Starborn on the front, and I will put up a picture here also of the back and leave you guys the link if you guys want one. But this is the most detailed, prettiest shirt I think I own now, and I'm so glad I wore it today. It was just kind of monumental and made today extra fun to wear a t-shirt that's dedicated to one of my favorite series. But anywho, this is kind of a chaotic opening to this vlog. We're just trying to be real and fun and just experience this book together. I don't know how long this book is going to take me to get through. I'm aiming for like 5 days, no longer than a week, but I don't know. I may just binge the whole thing and lose sleep. I honestly have no idea how this vlog is going to go. I'm just excited to take you guys with me. I've had this book in my possession for like 2 hours now. I've been dying to crack it open. I've got the audiobook ready to go, but first things first, we gotta make ourselves a coffee, specifically an iced oatmeal cookie latte. I've been super into, I think Silk sells this brand, but it's like an oatmeal cookie goodness to your latte, and you don't need a lot because it's super sweet. But if you see it at your local Target, grab them all. It's so good, the best creamer I've ever had. But go ahead and grab yourself a coffee, settle in, and let's just enjoy the ride and the chaos that is about to happen with this book. my gosh. Okay, friends. I read the prologue and I read the first chapter. All I have to say is this is living up to all my hopes and dreams so far. I cannot think of anything else right now. I am just like, what is work? What is life? Like, I just want to call out sick for the rest of the week and just read this. I'm very interested to see, like, it feels like she's going back and forth a little bit between some things, and I'm like interested to see if it's going to be like an even amount of like the things happening, or if we're just gonna get like one thing, or like what's going on, like different points of view. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen. I don't have any theories. I haven't looked at any theories. I'm just like, I know I'm gonna be mind blown. I'm already mind blown. There was literally one word in here that already blew my mind. So I am just so excited about this. I don't know. I don't know if this is my favorite series of hers or not, because Agatar is like way up there, and I have not finished Throne of Glass. I've read Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, and that's it. So I can't speak for that series, but this one is just on a whole other level than Agatar. Those are my first initial thoughts. I am going to do some sprints with my friends tonight. I don't know if we're going to go live or if we're just going to like read together, but we're all at this point in the series now, which is so much fun. So I think we're going to do some sprints later tonight, and I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to pick up my camera and chat with you guys anytime I have thoughts, and this is just going to be a very chatty, fun vlog. I'm not really doing anything else but reading. So if you're here for that and you want to see my opinion, I'm honestly predicting 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, I think I'll be shocked, because most of her books, if not all of them for me, are 5 stars. We're just gonna keep going, and I will keep you guys updated. Hello besties, we are back with an update, and I'm here to tell you that this is living up to all my hopes and dreams and beyond. And I was so terrified of starting this. I've been reading it so slowly. I'm only on page 165 after the first day. I'm about to hop on sprints with my patrons actually, but I quickly realized that this is gonna have to be a spoilery vlog. How in the world am I supposed to vlog number 3 in a series without accidentally spoiling something? Like, I know I'm gonna accidentally say something, and then anything I try to tell you isn't gonna make sense. And I know typically for me, when I watch other people's vlogs, sometimes I get tired of hearing the same thing, like, oh, this spot right here, or this chapter, or this was great, or that was great, or this shocked me. And I'm like, well, why? I want to know why. I've read the book, I want to hear your thoughts, and I'm only getting vague reactions. So this is going to end up being a spoilery vlog. If you have not read this book, I advise you click off now. The rest of this video is just going to be spoilery, and hopefully if you haven't read it yet, you still enjoyed the hype of me going to get the book at the beginning of this video. But this is going to just go straight into spoilers now, because I cannot contain my emotions and my feelings and things that are happening, because this book is wild. It's absolutely wild. I'm in awe. I am sitting here working throughout the day, doing my other chores or daily things, and I cannot stop thinking about these characters. I cannot stop thinking about this world. I cannot stop freaking out over what could possibly happen, because I have no idea what's gonna happen. I will say it is kind of hard to give super in-depth thoughts as well, because I'm flying through this so fast. So much information is being thrown at you, and I feel like I have whiplash, because we have 3 different things going on with multiple different characters. My mind is blown, and there's also like one point of view that like I really want more than the others, which click off now. I'm gonna give you time. We're gonna go into spoilers, so just click off now. Okay, we have Bryce and Nesta together. Bryce and Nesta, 2 baddies that were meant to be best friends. Like, I don't know why I never put 2 and 2 together. Probably because I just finished Silver Flames and got to know Nesta even more, and I'm definitely a Nesta lover now. But oh my gosh, both of them together, they are like fighting together to try to figure out what in the world this star of Bryce's is leading her to, and we have no idea what's happening. They're like fighting the big worm, and it's just incredible. It's so good. Okay, we had someone who wanted to join us, who wanted in the room. Are you happy now? We're talking about Nesta and Bryce being BFFs. What do you think? You have any thoughts? not only do we have the two of them learning to trust each other and just learning who each other are in general, but we have Asriel, the shadow daddy, who is like here, and he is protecting the sword because the sword and the knife are somehow like attracted to each other, and Asriel and Bryce feel like this gravitation towards the magic that these things are putting off, and I don't know what that means, but that has definitely been my favorite point of view. But then we also have Rune, Hunt, and Baxian, who are basically captives of Lydia, or the Hind, and she is kind of playing, I guess, villain and hero here, where she's trying to help both teams, and I didn't like her in the other books at all, but I really love her in this one because she's playing like double agent, and the stakes are just getting higher and higher, and so I'm really loving her. It's a little bit more boring with Rune and Hunt because, you know, they're just trying to make the best of being held captive and shackled and basically being kept in their own poop. But I am very curious when the smut is going to come into play, because again, I'm 165 pages in. We haven't had any romance. Hunt and Bryce are obviously in completely different worlds right now, and so I have no idea if we're gonna get any of that. I am just holding on to hope that the two of them will eventually get back together and they'll be reunited, and I don't know which world that's gonna be in, but I am so here for whatever happens. We also haven't seen Feyre yet. We've seen more of Rhys, which has been so amazing. He's such a like kind, gentle, understanding person because they're speaking two different languages and they don't understand each other, and he's just being so patient and trying to get her help and figure out, okay, you're speaking this language, I'm speaking the old language, and we have no idea what's going on here. We have not seen Feyre yet, but there was a name drop of their son Nyx, and I love that name. I think it's so cute, and this is supposed to be happening 6 months after Court of Silver Flames, which totally makes sense with the timeline. And the last thing I had thoughts about is, I think near the end of where I stopped, there is the quote that is, "Through love all things are possible," and that's what I think Danica said to Bryce, but we also have it in this moment where Nesta puts on the mask to defeat the worm, I think it is, in these tunnels, and Asriel has to remind Nesta to take off the mask, think of Feyre, think of Nyx, think of all the people that you love so you don't destroy yourself, basically, and she takes off the mask, and Bryce is just thinking, through love all things are possible. Like, wow, Nesta must really love these people, and I just, oh my word, the crossover of that quote between both series and how it works is just genius. It honestly made me emotional. Honestly, through this first 100 pages, I was just emotional because I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting to see all these characters together, and my mind is just blown. It's literally like a Marvel moment happening, and I just love it. I love every bit of it, and the fact that I keep thinking about it means it's going to be a 5-star book. Like, I struggled a little bit through Silver Flames. I DNF'd it once upon a time. I gave it another chance because I knew this book was coming out, but I literally just cannot stop thinking about this, and I want to lose sleep over it and just binge read it, but I also don't want to because it could be 2 years before we get another book from her, and I think we're supposed to get another Agatar book next. But I'm just really embracing more of like a book discussion type book review videos this year because I've just been craving talking about books with people, especially when it's these type of books where there's so many theories and so many things happening. I hope you guys enjoy the style of vlog. It's definitely a little bit more out of my comfort zone, but I am just enjoying every single sentence and word of this book. at exactly the halfway point. We're at 429. Sarah, if you keep one-upping yourself like this, I cannot imagine where a new series is going to take us. Like, this is the biggest whiplash of my life, but I'm loving every single second of it. It's hard to have cohesive thoughts as you're reading this because there's so many different perspectives happening. Like, there's been so many times where I've been reading and I'm like, oh my gosh, this would have been perfect to get a reaction because I had some type of reaction, but because it's such a brand new book, it's like I don't have people to tell me like which chapters to react to. So I'm going to try to catch a couple more reactions. There is one chapter I know specifically, but this is like one of the hardest books to vlog because there's so much happening. First of all, today has just been a chill Sunday. I made some energy reading fuel, which I've never made like homemade granola bites before, but let me just tell you, they are bomb. I loved them. They're not too sweet, and I don't know, they were just a really good, nice treat. I have been having gut issues lately, which has not been fun. It's been painful, and I am trying to like kind of reset my body a little bit and just eat more clean this week. So if you guys want the recipe to those, I did leave them in the description. Getting into a couple more thoughts, I've been taking notes, like one sentence notes as I've been reading this, so I can kind of give you some thoughts of where I had some reactions. So remember how I said there was like no smut in the first like 225 pages? Well, it was only a couple pages later that we finally hit a little bit, and I'm still halfway through and there has been like nothing, barely anything. I mean, if you've read Silver Flames, this is absolutely nothing compared to that one. Not only does that baffle me, but can we please talk about how Baxian bit off severed Rune's hand from his body so they could try to escape, and then they escape because Lydia shows up and just shoots Pollux or something, and they escape, and then poor Rune is like sobbing so hard that Lydia just like grabs him and is like hauling him, and they're trying to run away, and I'm just like, Rune, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, it was just so chaotic, it was disgusting, it was crazy, and I loved every second of it. And then we have Bryce, who learns about this like Asteri Vesiba or something like that. And then she somehow goes back to Midgard where her father is. But internally I was screaming because I was like, no, I kind of wanted her to stay in like Valeris with Nesta and Asriel. And oh my gosh, I just want to see her interact more with those characters. But where the story is going, I have a feeling they are going to all connect in some way and they'll come back into play. At least I'm hoping that's what Sarah does, because I feel like that's what we all have wanted. We then have Baxian and Rune and Hunt that are finally all together. They're safe on, I think, the Queen's ship, like the Mer Queen's ship, and there was just this moment where Rune sees Baxian working out and he sees across his chest, through all things are possible, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Danica, like there's just so many glimpses of people's grief from that, and sometimes I forget that Baxian was her mate or is her mate, and I don't know, I have this theory that Danica could be alive, and I think a lot of people want that as well, but I don't know if she's gonna do that, but I'm just putting that out into the universe right now. But yeah, there's just so many little emotional like blips that she puts in here, and it's just, oh, it's so good. This book is just so much deeper than you think it is. And then we also have Ethan, who is trying to resurrect Sigrid, I think is her name. Seriously, there's so many characters in this book. He is now with Jessica at the House of Flame and Shadow, and Jessica's giving him like some background on these books and such that have, I think, like really important information for the sword. This is why I don't do like dedicated reading vlogs, because I feel like my thoughts are just so chaotic. But anyways, there's a quote about books in general that I absolutely loved. A world where people loved and valued books and learning so much that they were willing to die for them. Can you imagine what such a civilization was like? 100,000 men and women marched to defend a library. It sounds like a bad joke these days, but they fought and they died, all to buy the library priestesses enough time to smuggle the books out on ships. It just got me thinking, with technology and AI and like the amount of things on the internet to read these days, it just makes me sad to think that we could get to a point where like physical books are just so highly valued because they're not printed anymore. And I don't know, I just thought that was very profound of her to say in this part. I don't know, I thought that was really good. And the last quick thing I wanted to mention is, can we talk about Lydia the Hind and how Sarah once again just brings out this character development out of nowhere, and how I said she was like a double agent, and then we learn that she has sons and we don't know who the father is, and she's wanted to protect them, so she has sent them to foster care. And oh my gosh, my jaw just dropped. Absolutely dropped. Like, I need her and Rune to get together ASAP, because I cannot handle this tension anymore. I didn't really like Rune too much in the first and second books. Like, I was like, okay, Hunt is okay, he's not my favorite love interest, and then like I didn't like Rune quite as much as Hunt, but this book is like Rune and Lydia's book. Honestly, Bryce and Hunt are just in the background, and I'm totally okay with that. So anyways, I'm at the part where basically all our characters are together. They find that there's thin mists where they can go to jump worlds, I think it is. And it's just so fun to see like all of them finally together after being separated for most of the book. So I feel like this is the moment that I've been waiting for, and I can't put it down. I'm just living in this book, I'm living in this world, and thank goodness I still have most of Throne of Glass to read. I just know I'm gonna need another Sarah book. I don't even know how this is gonna end. I have like theories with like the world jumping. The Queen of the Mer people is like basically trying to get Bryce to close the portal to all the worlds and just save themselves, and just close off the Asteri, stop them from being a parasite in this water where they're taking everyone's light, and it's just a crazy situation happening, which honestly I kind of thought of that. I put two and two together. I was like, what if they all just went to Valeris and like closed it off completely and that world kind of like died out? But like, would that really work though? I have no idea. So my thoughts and my brain is constantly turning. I don't have any more like plans for this video other than kind of get a couple more reactions, chat when I'm done. I just miss and crave the reason why I'm on booktube, and that is to gush over books. Not aesthetic vlogs, not lifestyle stuff, but just like chat about theories. So I'm really hoping to do this more with anticipated releases, maybe kind of combine a vlog for a couple if there's like a month where there's multiple books coming out. This has just been so much fun. I wish we could all read this together in real time. Sarah and this book just once again proves to me that Sarah's like one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite of all time. I am thoroughly enjoying this. I'm gonna keep reading, and I will check in with you guys later. Okay friends, I'm currently on sprints with Kendall, so sorry if this lighting is like weird and all over the place, but I was told that chapter 58 something goes down and I need to film my reaction. Thankfully I have a couple friends who are a little bit farther along than me, so I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 58, and I'm a little bit scared because stuff is definitely happening. So let's go ahead and read it together, even though I am terrified right now. Okay, here we go. No. Did we know this? I don't think we knew. What? Apollyon is the father to Hunt? Wait. Why am I so confused? That clearly shocked me. I'm like shaking now because it scared me so bad, but oh my gosh, my camera's about to die and I need to go ask some friends if this is new information because I'm losing my mind. Oh my, what does this mean? Okay, I'm scared now. I'm so scared. I've got to go keep reading. Okay, the time has come. I finished House of Flame and Shadow, and I'm so sad it's over. Literally so incredibly sad that this book is over. I think I binge read like the last 250 pages without really giving you all any type of thoughts. The last part or last fourth of this book was just insanity. What I can say about it before I go into a couple details of things I did have reactions to is this book was so incredibly different from the other books and any other books that she's honestly written that I've read so far, but it ended on a way happier note than I thought it was going to. I kind of expected someone to die, or I kind of expected just, I don't know, something else to happen. I think I said earlier in this video that I thought Danica was going to be alive, which we did get another Bryce and Danica moment when Bryce is basically like dead and she's switching souls and all these crazy things. So we did get a little bit more of some Danica content, which I was so excited to see. Unfortunately, she did not come back alive, but Bryce did, because we can't let the main character die. But overall, I was very pleased with the way this ended, and another big overarching theme that I kept thinking about the whole time that this reminded me of is Marvel. When we had the portal situation from the different worlds, and Bryce was stuck in the portal, and like you finally get all the characters together for like the big crisis that was happening, I was like, wow, this feels so much like Marvel. They all have their powers back, they all are unleashing and relearning what they can do with their powers, and I don't know, it was just very Marvel-ish, and I don't want to say it was cringy or gimmicky because it was done well, but like I also just, it's not that I disliked it. And just as a spoiler alert, I did give this 5 stars. I'm not here to criticize. That was the only thing that like kind of took me out of the story a little bit, is it was more sci-fi-ish than I thought it was gonna be, and maybe that was just a me thing, I don't know. But I think I last left you all where we learned that Hunt is the son of, I think, Hell, basically, and he isn't technically like biologically the son. He was made for Bryce. He's like a made thing, not like a robot. Like he was made to be a weapon for Bryce to enhance her light and her starlight, and I don't know, I kept thinking Hunt was going to die the whole time and just give himself up, because during like the battle and everything, things are getting heated, she's getting tired, he's expending all his energy towards her, and I was just scared the whole time that he was gonna die, but he did not. The biggest like part that I did love is Rune killing his father, and Bryce and Rune being able to bond over that. I felt like that was such an emotional experience, because you kind of go further in the story and it talks about how he almost has regrets of doing that, and they both just have so much trauma from their childhood and the way they were raised, and I don't know, I just thought that was so cool to see him like overcome that trauma in a way. But I think the most emotional part to me about this entire book is when Bryce, all she wants is to keep her family safe, and she decides to teleport her parents back to Nesta and says, here, take care of my parents. They have no idea that this is gonna happen, but she wants to protect them, and she gets emotional having to leave them. And it was just crazy. The sacrificial love that Bryce has for this, it was just so incredible. And of course at the end we see where Nesta and Bryce's mom actually have a connection. We have Cassian that comes into play, and I just loved those scenes so much. I was hoping the whole time that she didn't just leave Bryce and we just follow Bryce. I was like, I need more of Valeris and the characters there, and it was just, it was so incredible. The way that she weaved that back around was like my favorite part of the whole book. And another emotional part that I kind of had a reaction to was we have Sahar's soul that's like attached to this suit, and Hunt realizes it's her, as he also realizes that Bryce is stuck in this portal, and she kind of helps him emotionally use her body or whatever to go back into the portal, and basically he feels like she helps him save Bryce. And I was just like, oh my word, it was so clever the way that she did that. She weaved in so many emotions into the ending of this. And then another part at the end where we have Lydia and Rune, they are back together, but at the end Lydia is reunited with her sons, and they not only hug their mom, but they hug Rune and they thank him for taking care of their mom, and it was just, my gosh, this was so good. I feel like this book was finally the book in the series where I actually had an emotional attachment to any characters. Like, yeah, I liked the plot and the vibe of the other two, but the emotions were running high in this book, and I honestly think it might be my favorite of the whole series. Of course, we had Ethan killing the Under King, which also took me by surprise. Like, I am telling you, there was something in every single one of these chapters, and I was like, what in the world? Not only did Ethan kill the Under King, but he became the Prime as well. I was like, I love Ethan even more than Hunt at this point. Like, Bryce and Hunt really were the background of this story, and I was not expecting that, but also I didn't mind it. I actually think I like the side characters a little bit more in this series now in comparison to Bryce and Hunt. Also, the creepy Reapers in here, when we learned about those and how Ethan was trying to like resurrect, was it Sathia? I forget how you pronounce her name, but when they like reattached her head, I was like, this is some Frankenstein crap. Like, what are we doing with this book? If I had to sum up this book, it would be crazy and emotional and one of the fastest paced books I think I've ever read. Like, I did not get bored for one single second. Overall, this book was 5 out of 5 stars. Sarah J. Maas is a genius with the way she has weaved these series together, with the way she has just talked about really strong female leads, and even some things that the males went through as well. Like, she just has a way of words and a way of seamlessly weaving hard, difficult topics into fantasy books that just hit you in a different way than any other genre would, and I just appreciate her and love her so much. Almost all of her books have been 5 stars for me, at least 4, and I just love the person that she is. I think she's such an amazing woman and a mother and a writer, and I just feel like her books are like up there as classics for me now, and I feel like she can do no wrong in my eyes. So you guys might think differently, but hopefully if you're watching this video, we are of the same mind. You guys will also have to let me know what you thought of this book. But that is it for this vlog. It was very different than what I typically do, but I had the best time just like turning on the camera and having emotions and reactions and being able to chat with you guys. Definitely chat all things spoilery in the comments. Feel free to do that. I feel like when I label this spoilery, people are just going to enter at their own risk. But there's just so much to discuss about this book. I'm definitely going to be rereading it and catching on to different things each time I reread it. If there's any books you know that are coming out that you want to see me read, definitely let me know in the comments below if there's anything specific. But if you have any ideas, definitely let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for gushing with me about Sarah J. Maas. I love you guys. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in my next video.